Hello. Now I'm going to tie several different flies. Basically it's one same fly, mayfly, which with different types of wings for different situations and different water types. So first I'm going to tie several bodies, and after that I'm going to tie these wings. So I'm going to tie with my thread right about where I want my body to end. So it's black thread UTC, and for the body I'm going to use Polish quills in brown color. Really nice material. It gives nice segmentation. When you put a UV over it, it's very durable. And for the tail I'm going to use Coq de Lion, which is perfect tailing material because it has nice color, and I love the fact that it's pretty stiff, so it gives more stability to our fly. So I'm just going to pull out several fibers, not too many, and I'm going to tie it like almost or maybe more than the length of the body. You can choose to split these tails, but I don't think it's that important. Just important that you have it there, and it will support your fly to ride better. So after you position your tailing material, you want to take one of these quills from the bag, and the important part is to notice that you have black part of the quill and brown part of the quill. So for this I will position my black part upwards, and then I will, after that, when I tie it in, the black part will go behind. Well, I will try to explain as I tie. So I will secure this and go with my thread in touching turns towards the place where I want my body to end. It's important to leave extra space for your wings, thorax, and everything you need to finish your fly. Don't go all the way till the eye of the hook. So whenever you tie a fly, try to think about next step and how much space do you need for that next step. Now I will take my pliers and I'm going to like a little bit break it this way, okay? And then I'll go all the way, I'll tie it all the way towards hook eye. Next step is to do a whip finish, and do a whip finish just over this part. Don't go any more forward, and you can do it just with like 2 or 3 turns, no more than that, because you're going to put some varnish UV glue over this, so it's going to be safe. It's not going to break in any way. So this is nice. I'll make several bodies now and varnish all of them together. Now it's time to put some varnish on this. So for this one I'm going to use liquid UV. Okay. Now sometimes people have problems with this glue. It gets sticky, it's not hard enough. You can just leave it for a couple of hours outside and let the sun do the job for you. Now it's time to add some wings. First, I'm gonna come back with your thread. Nice solid foundation here, so it won't unravel. and take 2 CDC feathers for bigger flies, 1 CDC feather for for smaller flies, and just line them together. Measure how long you want them to be. This is about right. Position it like your left hand, pinch it strong. Now with pinch and loop, it means thread between your fingers. Go all over the feather and squeeze it tight. So that's 1 turn, 2nd turn, and sometimes even 3rd. Now go up with this front part and go with 2 or 3 turns in front of it. Now this feather should be pretty solid. Now you need to apply some dubbing for thorax and your fly is almost finished. For this one I'm going to use some mixture squirrel dubbing and UV dubbing, so it will be shiny and spiky. That's how I like it. It will imitate legs too. So use your dubbing rope for positioning your wings upwards a little bit more. So go behind with your dubbing, make nice thorax, go with tight wraps. Now you see that like about 45 maybe more degrees. You can cut this wing now or a bit before, but never mind. So go with your thread and dubbing in front of it, and when you think you have enough, just remove the excess of the dubbing, pull back all the fibers, make a nice neat head, use your wood finishing tool, finish the fly, and this fly is done. Pull the fibers back with a 2nd knot, so you have nice clean head. That's it. Very easy fly to make. You have nice thorax with small legs. You can even brush out the legs if you want with some tool. Nice wings. It's good for slow water. It's fast tie. You can do it even without thorax. You can just go more far towards the eye with a quill and then just finish it like F fly with more upward wings. Okay. Second way is with a loop. This is a more versatile fly because you can like adapt your fly just on the water for different situations. So right now I'm going to make the foundation of thread, then choose the feather with all the tips aligned more or less until the top. You want your fly to have a loop, so choose the feather with the thin stem, not the one with a thick one. So go align them up and catch your feather really hard, and it should be like a really good secured. Cut this excess and go back with your thread again. Now this is the time you should measure the feather. Is it good or not? Fold it with your dubbing needle, make a loop to the size you want it, and this part from head to here is going to be your wing. Now it's time to add some dubbing for thorax. So just apply some dubbing and make a thorax. Don't go with your thread, don't go all the way to the hook eye. Leave some room because you're going to pull upward this wing. So now leave it at the eye. Break the stem a little like this with dubbing needle. This will position your loop a little bit better. Now when you're satisfied with the length of your loop, just fix it, and again pinch and loop go around the hook eye, and with 2 turns you have your loop made here. Now with your whip finish you're going to position this wing upward, so you need to pull it back, position it with your left hand. Now 1 turn, of course after 1 it's not enough, almost never. So break it with your nail a little bit, help it go back, and now make your whip finish a little bit more, climb it up to this previous knot, so this will position your wing even better. And if you need, you can make always another knot, but try not to make the too big head, and go with tight wrap, so pull tight your thread. It helps you if you have quality thread. Now this is more like emerger pattern, so for this one it's not necessary to use coq de lion for tail. You can use just antron yarn or any fibers that will suggest that the shock trail is hanging behind the fly. On the water, if fish are too picky, you can just take this, cut it off, and you'll have just like a bubble emerger, and it's really nice. These wings help you see the fly and helps flotation, of course. Now it's time to make split wing. For this one, again, same as the previous ones, make your foundation of thread, cut the excess off. Then I'm going to make this one with the indicator yarn, so don't use too much yarn, so you can just take out some fibers. It doesn't have to be too thick because you'll make too bulky fly, so make it tight here. Cut again the excess, leaving the part near the head free. That's very important. Now take 2 CDC feathers with all the barbs up, position it in a V shape, align the tips like this, and then pull all the fibers up, so you will use more of them. Position it in a V shape, measure the length, put it on the top of your hook, pinch and loop, fix it with 1 or 2, 3 turns in front on the top, then 2 or 3 turns in front. Now it's the time to position your wings even more if you need to. Now cut the feather and secure it even more tight. Now, so cover these cut parts. Okay, now add some thorax material, whatever you want to do, like any hair is good, any dubbing is good. I love to use squirrel hair because of the spiky effect it gives, and I don't tie it really tight, so these barbs will stick out. So go behind this feather and position it a bit more with your dubbing. Now this time I want to up. Now I'll pull it back, and with my thread and dubbing I'll go behind, position wings, and now I'll return to the front. Now go with your indicator material between these parts, pull tight, position wings as you want them to be, and now with your fingers pull this indicator material tighter, and that's it. Now do a whip finish knot and finish your fly. Now you want this material to be between wings, so right now I'm going to do the same as I did with emerger pattern previously tied. So pull those wings a little bit upward like this, hold everything in place as you want it. Okay, now just position your indicator material where you want it to be. So make even if you need to make a bigger head, do it. Now this is it. Cut off the thread and cut off indicating material. You don't want it to be too long, just cut it half length of the wings. It's more than enough. So position your wings if you need them a little bit more, and that's it. Finished fly. Your tippet is coming this way, so your fly is always going to face you with the hook eye pointed on you. That's why you'll be able to see this indicator, and fish are not going to see the indicator so well, maybe a little. So this is finished fly. So now I'm going to make a spent fly. There are several ways to do it, of course. You just find the way you like it the most and it's easiest for you. So now I'm going to position my wings, which I pre-prepared. I will place them forward. I will pull all fibers together like this and put it on the top of your hook with a few loose turns. Just secure it there. Now make sure you're doing the right job, so pull back your wings until you're finished with the length. Then pull your thread down, pull up the wings, and then secure them even more. Of course, there are several ways for everything, and of course for this too. I will cut only one feather here. I will cut it close. Make sure you have enough room in front of it, because you're going to pull this stem through the feathers and tie it near the eye. Put your dubbing on your thread. Now it's time to make a thinner rope, because you can use it to split your wings. So make a thin rope, because you're going to use several turns more than we've been using for the previous flies. So make a nice and thin rope, dubbing rope. Okay, now split your wings a little bit like this. They're all already, because you're using two feathers, so it's already done for you, but just do it a little bit more. Go a little bit back, so you're going to make this thorax. Position it even more. Okay, when you're satisfied, just remove all the dubbing you don't need. Pull this feather you left to the front. Go catch it one or three turns and then pull it up. Cut it, make the head, and finish your fly. For this wing case you can even use the indicator yarn, and you can leave a tag here so you can easily see this fly. But you're going to use this fly mostly on slower parts of the river, so you'll be able to see the rise of the fish. Even though you don't see the actual fly, you're going to see the rise of the fish. So that's why you don't need this yarn. You want this fly to be subtle and as realistic as possible, because you're going to fish picky fish. You're going to fish after picky and difficult fish. So it's important that your wings are flat in a line with your body. The length is 1.5 length of the body and the hook. So, and the position a little bit backward. If they're standing like this, it's okay. If they're all standing like down, it's okay. So you are going to position this with your turn of eights, figure of eights, with your thread and dubbing. This is finished fly. It's very useful, and I've caught many fish with this. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.